Take a deep breath and allow yourself to drift backward. Beyond the ticking hands of clocks, beyond the pages of history books, beyond the skyscrapers and the hum of the modern world. Until the ground beneath your feet begins to shift, the air becomes warmer, heavier with humidity and the scent of wet stone and wood smoke. Around you, the sounds of a great city stir, footsteps in reed sandals, voices in Nahuatl, the steady splash of canoes through narrow canals. You've arrived in Tenochtitlan, the vibrant heart of the Aztec Empire, perched like a gleaming jewel atop the waters of Lake Texcoco. The year is somewhere between 1400 and 1500, a time when this floating city rivaled the grandeur of Venice, yet was rooted in a world of gods, cycles, and sacrifice. Tonight, we'll wander through the city as the locals did quietly, respectfully, observing the customs, the lives, the unspoken rules. And as you sink deeper into the rhythm of their world, you may find that surviving even a single day here would require more than just courage. Let us begin with a gentle immersion into daily life. Imagine yourself waking on a reed mat, your body wrapped in a simple cotton blanket. The dawn light filters softly through a woven reed screen. Outside, the first stirrings of the city begin, women grinding maize with slow, rhythmic pressure. Scritch, 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 scritch. The sound is ancient and meditative, a lullaby made of labor. Your home, like most in Tenochtitlan, is humble. Walls of sun-dried brick, a roof of thatch, no glass, no furniture as you know it. Only the gentle order of a space dictated by purpose, a hearth for cooking, mats for sleeping, and clay vessels for water and pulque. The air smells faintly of wet earth and the smoke from cooking fires. You rise quietly, wash your face with cool water from a basin, and prepare to face the rhythm of the day. Outside, the city is already stirring. Narrow streets bustle with traders carrying baskets of chilies, tomatoes, and cacao beans. Children play with spinning tops or practice throwing tiny darts, while elders sit cross-legged, murmuring old stories. You step carefully onto the causeways, raised roads that cross over water. Beneath your feet, the lake reflects the sky in shimmering ripples. Canoes slide silently past, piled with goods bound for market. Fish glisten in woven baskets, and frogs croak lazily from the reeds. This is a city without wheels, without horses. Everything moves by human strength, by rhythm and routine. Couriers jog barefoot with knotted cords bearing messages, their breath steady, their strides unbroken. Even nobles travel by litter, carried by 4 strong men, their faces calm with duty. You pass a woman arranging flowers on a small altar. She offers a prayer to Xoaquetzal, goddess of beauty and love, as incense curls into the air, fragrant with copal. And you, a visitor, feel the quiet order of it all, the sense of cosmic balance. Every action, from sweeping a floor to lighting a fire, is part of a sacred calendar, a contract with the gods. But this order is not without its demands. Miss a ritual, fail to show respect, and the consequences are subtle yet absolute. To live here is to live within the circle of time, of duty, of expectation. By midday, the sun climbs high above the great Templo Mayor, its twin shrines casting shadows across the central plaza. The scent of roasting maize and crushed herbs wafts from the nearby market. Your stomach may growl, but you also feel watched. Not by eyes, but by the steady weight of tradition. You have survived the morning. But the day is far from over. End of segment 1. Now, let us drift upward, from the rhythm of daily chores to the towering heights of imperial power. Imagine, if you will, the Grand Palace near the center of Tenochtitlan, vast, multi-courtyarded, with high walls and hundreds of rooms. Inside, attendants speak in hushed tones, and messengers wait barefoot for permission to approach. Here lives a man not just feared, but revered. A man whose presence defines an age, Moctezuma II, known to history as Moctezuma II, born into nobility and trained from youth in the ways of both war and wisdom, Moctezuma's path was shaped by discipline and devotion. As a young man, he served as a Tlaquetequetl, a kind of high general, earning distinction on the battlefield with calm precision and unshakable resolve. But it was not only his victories that set him apart. Moctezuma was deeply religious, even by Aztec standards. He studied ancient codices, debated omens with priests, and sought to understand the sacred calendar that guided every harvest, festival, and campaign. When he rose to become Tlatoani, the great speaker, he inherited not just a crown, but the burden of an empire in its prime. By the early 1500s, Tenochtitlan stood at the pinnacle of its power. Its tribute system stretched for hundreds of miles, drawing in gold, cacao, obsidian, and thousands of laborers. And it was Moctezuma's hand that steadied it all, yet his rule was not without shadows. Moctezuma strengthened the empire's military grip over neighboring regions, launching campaigns that, though often successful, bred quiet resentment. He centralized power within the capital, reducing the influence of regional lords. He lived in greater seclusion than his predecessors, surrounded by an increasingly mystical court, where dreams, omens, and signs carried as much weight as treaties and arms. Those who approached him did so with eyes lowered. Even high-ranking nobles dared not look directly at him without permission. When he spoke, they listened as if the voice of a god had entered the room, and still, uncertainty crept in. By the middle of his reign, strange events began to ripple across the empire. A distant temple struck by lightning, a comet streaking across the sky. Mysterious visions reported by soothsayers. All were taken as signs, warnings from the gods. Some said that the gods were restless, others that something, or someone, was coming. And so Moctezuma waited, not with panic, but with solemn ritual. He increased offerings to the gods, consulted oracles more often. He built upon the Templo Mayor, adorning it with fresh blood and fresh stone, as though appeasement could stay the hand of fate. To his people, he remained a figure of awed calm, disciplined, and devoted. Yet behind the walls of his palace, the burdens of empire and prophecy weighed heavily. For when the sails finally appeared on the horizon, strange white birds with wings of cloth, Moctezuma did not ride out with armies, he sent gifts. And in doing so, he passed into legend as the emperor who saw the end coming and could not stop it. Soft wind transitions, drifting like time through the lake reeds. You have now glimpsed power in its purest, most isolated form. But empires are not built on crowns alone. Let us now slip deeper into the mystery, beneath stone and water, to find what the earth still whispers from this vanished world. Now imagine the layers of time as soft earth. Peel them back, gently, dust by dust, stone by stone. Beneath the bustle of modern Mexico City, beneath the horns, the towers, the crowded sidewalks, another city sleeps. Tenochtitlan was not erased, it was buried. When the Spanish conquistadors razed the Aztec capital, they did not destroy it so much as they built atop it. Churches rose where temples once stood. New roads were laid over sacred causeways. And gradually, Century after century, the true city slipped into silence, but the earth remembers. Even today, workers in Mexico City occasionally unearth something unexpected, a carved serpent head beneath a sidewalk, a fragment of obsidian, a section of an ancient wall, long forgotten. These are not accidents, they are whispers. Much of what we know about Aztec ritual and belief comes not from books or stories, but from the stones themselves. In the heart of the modern city lies the Templo Mayor, rediscovered in the 1970s when utility workers stumbled upon a colossal, circular stone, a monolithic carving of Coyolxauhqui, the dismembered moon goddess. Her story of sacrifice and cosmic order is etched into every line of her form. It had lain undisturbed for centuries, waiting for the light. Archaeologists now believe the Templo Mayor was expanded in 7 layers, like an onion of time, each new ruler adding another layer over the last, honoring the gods anew, making the temple ever grander, ever more powerful. Today, those layers are being delicately peeled apart, and what do they reveal? Tiny offerings, obsidian blades, frog figurines, shells from distant coasts, burial caches, rows of human skulls once placed with reverence, not cruelty. Layers of red pigment, suggesting the temple once gleamed blood red in the sun. And perhaps most mysterious of all, the sheer precision of it all. The temple aligned with cosmic events, with solstices, equinoxes, and star movements. This was not just architecture, it was astronomy carved in stone. Beneath the surface, archaeologists also find signs of change. Structures hastily built over others, ritual objects buried with unusual speed. Perhaps even the signs of desperation as omens grew dark and distant sails appeared on the lake. And yet, these remnants are not frozen in fear. They are full of life, music, mathematics, reverence, and rhythm. Even now, walking the streets above, some report feeling it, a kind of hum beneath the solace of your feet. The sense that something vast lies just below. Not malevolent, not forgotten, just waiting. Waiting to be seen again. The stones have spoken, quietly. But if the city itself whispers, imagine the lives that once moved through its bones, the laughter, the longing, the burdens. In our final chapter, let us return to the human, to the contrasts of daily life and privilege, power and poverty, and discover what it truly meant to live and to belong. They smelled faintly of copal incense, and their fingers often stained with red pigment from ritual offerings. The priests held immense power, mediating between earth and sky. Yet, their authority rested on strict discipline, early mornings, long fasts, and unyielding study of the sacred calendar. Every word spoken, every gesture made, was laden with meaning. For all their differences, all their struggles and triumphs, the people of Tenochtitlan shared the same sky, the same cycles of sun and moon. And in that, there was a profound connection, a rhythm that bound the emperor and the slave, the priest and the warrior, into a single, breathing city. You have journeyed through the intricate, powerful, and sometimes unforgiving world of Aztec Tenochtitlan, a city of grandeur and grit, of devotion and daily toil. As night falls once more, let your mind drift slowly away from the stone causeways and bustling markets, from the towering temples and whispered prayers, back through the layers of time to the quiet comfort of your own world. The city of Tenochtitlan, with all its beauty and harshness, now rests beneath centuries of earth and memory. Its stories remain soft echoes in the wind, gentle reminders of lives lived under a sun that rose and set as surely as ours. Imagine yourself lying back, the steady rhythm of history settling around you like a warm blanket. The distant murmur of the lake, the soft rustle of reed mats, the flickering of candlelight long extinguished. And know this, though the days there could be difficult and demanding, the people of that time, like you, sought peace in the small moments, in shared meals, quiet prayers, and the simple grace of belonging. Let the calm of their world blend with your own breathing. With each slow inhale and gentle exhale, feel your body relax, your thoughts soften, and your mind drift. Tonight, you have traveled to a place both far away and close, a reminder of endurance, rhythm, and the endless unfolding of time. Rest now, and when you wake, carry with you the quiet strength of a city that once shone brightly on a shimmering lake beneath the vast, eternal sky. Good night.